Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris on the Rush Sports Network, and I decided to give you guys a little UFC video today. Right now I'm doing my top 10 MMA power rankings right now. Before we begin, I would like you to check out a guy's channel that I really like. He's a buddy of mine. His name's Brandon Hintz. So just go youtube.com/Brandon Hintz. He's got a pretty slick channel. He talks about bodybuilding a lot and stuff like that. So make sure you go check out his channel, and let's begin. So number one on our list is Alistair Overeem. With notable wins over guys like Brock Lesnar, Fabricio Verdum, Brett Rogers, Overeem is quickly starting to take over the UFC heavyweight division. In my opinion, his explosive striking will just be too much for Dos Santos, and Overeem will add another belt to his collection. His MMA record: 36 wins, 11 losses, one draw. Next fight versus Junior Dos Santos, May 26th, 2012. That fight's going to be great. Number two on the list, his opponent, Junior Dos Santos. Right now it's really a toss-up between JDS and Overeem for the top spot. I chose Overeem first and JDS second because I think Overeem will knock JDS out when they fight. Either way, at only 27 years old, Dos Santos certainly has a bright future ahead of him. He's had some notable wins over guys like Cain Velasquez, Shane Carwin, Gabriel Gonzaga, and his next fight will, of course, be against Alistair Overeem. Moving on. Josh Barnett. While it may be controversial that Barnett is third on this list and Cain Velasquez is not, I contend that because Barnett is riding high with 8 straight victories, he should be over Velasquez in this list. He's got a great ground game, and he used that to advance to the Strikeforce Grand Prix Finals, where he will meet Daniel Cormier in a fight I look forward to seeing. I love seeing Cormier and Barnett fights, and that is yet to be announced. I'm not sure when that'll happen. Stay tuned. I'll make another video about it once we get some more information. His MMA record: 31 wins, 5 losses. Pretty impressive. Number 4, Cain Velasquez. Since he recently lost his title in his last fight, the only blemish on his 9-1 record. Improving his striking should be his first priority because JDS definitely exposed to striking in their championship fight. Cain should be a force to be reckoned with in the UFC heavyweight division, however, and since he's only 29, we should be hearing about him for years to come. MMA record: 9-1. It was a tough loss against JDS. There's nothing really you can say. Yeah. Next fight, Frank Mir, May 26, 2012. That card's got some big heavyweight fights going on. This is definitely a fight for number 1 contender. Frank Mir, well, one behind Velasquez at number 5 on this list. It was a difficult decision as to whether to put Mir or Fabricio Verdum at the number 5 spot, but I chose Mir on this spot because Mir is fighting Cain for a number 1 contender spot in the heavyweight division. If Frank can improve his already dangerous striking, I see no reason why he can't plow through Velasquez on his way to a title shot. And he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got some pretty decent karate. Maybe if he works on his takedown defense, maybe he can neutralize Velasquez's wrestling. I can see that happening as well. Yeah, I think Frank Mir can definitely beat Cain Velasquez. Fabricio Verdum, number 6. With recent wins over Roy Nelson, Fedor, and Antonio Bigfoot Silva, the 34-year-old Verdum is trying to prove he's still got it. If he can win his next fight against Mike Russo, he could easily vault into the top 5 of this ranking. MMA record: 15-5, 1 draw. Next fight versus Mike Russo, June 23rd, 2012. Daniel Cormier at number 7. With an undefeated record in his UFC, not UFC, I guess. Well, Strikeforce is kind of UFC, whatever. Explosive Daniel Cormier burst onto the scene in 2009. With so much Olympic wrestling experience, if Cormier can improve his stand-up, he has a bright future in MMA. He's so explosive in his hands, but even though he's undefeated, he just doesn't have the big wins against tough competition that the other fighters higher up on this list have. I would like to see him move up and fight some tougher fights. And if he can do that and win, he can definitely prove to me that he deserves a spot within the top 5 and prove to Dana White and the Fertitta brothers and those guys in the UFC. MMA record, a perfect one of 9-0. Next fight versus Josh Barnett. Again, we're not really sure when that's going to happen. That's the final, the heavyweight Strikeforce Grand Prix. Alright, Shane Carwin at number 8. Well, he's coming off 2 losses to Brock Lesnar and Junior Dos Santos. Let's not forget that he used to be a top contender for heavyweight gold. He's proven himself against Frank Mir and Gabriel Gonzaga, and if he can improve his conditioning, there's still hope. His MMA record is currently 6-2. His next fight, we are still waiting to see when his next fight will be, but that should be a great one. He always brings the fight. And let's not forget that if he didn't gas against Brock, he probably would have beaten Brock and won the title before Kane won the title. So, you can play the what-if game, but it's still impressive what he's been able to do. So, number 9, Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Coming off a loss to Daniel Cormier, Silva needs to bounce back with a victory. Taking on Roy Nelson at UFC 146, he has that opportunity and should make the most of it. He's got belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and Karate. And he should turn quite a few heads in his UFC debut. MMA record, 16-3. Next fight versus Roy Nelson, May 26, 2012. UFC has been really hyping the heavyweights in this card. At least three big-name heavyweight fights on May 26, so make sure you tune in for those. Those should be great. Last guy on my list, Fedor Emelianenko. I can't really figure this guy out. For years, he dominated the sport and looked invincible. Now he's been a little exposed by some tough fighters. Dan Henderson, Bigfoot Silva. Werdum also caught him in a triangle, but some people can say that was a little lucky. I don't know. I'm not sure if he would want to do this, but since he's a rather small heavyweight, maybe he can consider fighting at light heavyweight in the future. Now, I'm not even sure if he'd be able to do that. It just seems that he was a little exposed against Bigfoot, and he has a weakness against tough wrestlers that are bigger than him. So maybe he could fight kind of like what Randy Couture used to do. Randy Couture moved up from heavyweight. He was originally light heavyweight, and then he moved up to heavyweight. So Fedor, maybe he could do the opposite. I'm not even sure if he would want to do that or could do that at his age. But something he could consider if he really wanted to. Thanks, guys. If you want to see more, like the video, comment on what division you want me to do next. If this gets well received, then I'll do some light heavyweight power rankings, maybe middleweight power rankings, etc. Comment on what you want to see next. Thanks. Peace.